Hi everyone, this is Wilson and today I want to play DungeonQuest once again. I had a lot of fun with it last time, so we're going to have another go. This time we're going to use two characters. Over here on my left I've got Chalara and Brightblaze, so she's something of a magic user. Doesn't have as much life as Lindell, but she looks like she's pretty good. I like her special ability that says when she draws a dungeon card, she can discard it and draw another card as the replacement, but she needs to take that one. Then she's got something here about wounds as well. Basically, if she has 8 or more wounds, then she's not as effective when she is in combat. And her little piece of color commentary here says, "The wrath of my ancestors shall strike down those who would deny me my birthright." I guess her birthright is the right to adventure or something like that. So here's her little catacombs token. She's going to be the first player. Ladies go first, and she's going to start over here. And on this side, the same guy that I've used before, who I enjoy, it's Lindell, and he's some sort of elf guy, and for him, his color text says, "Too many have suffered for these cursed treasures." All right. Hopefully, Lindell, you won't be doing a lot of suffering either. So everything's set up here. They each get one of these rune cards. So we'll stick with the ladies' first idea. See what Chalara gets. It's the rune of blinding. It says you can discard this after you draw a search, crypt, or corpse card, suffer 1 wound, and discard the card without resolving it. So that could be... Is traps in there? No. Traps are the ones that really get you, but that's okay. That's helpful. And Lindell has the rune of death. That doesn't sound great. Discard after you draw an ambush card. Discard the ambush card without resolving it. Okay, so that's just maybe a little more straightforward, if nothing else. All right, so here we go. We need to move the sun tracker to the first turn, and that's going to be Chalara and Brightblaze, who are going to go into, let's say, this spot here. Okay, so she draws a nice straightforward room and needs to draw from the dungeon deck. A bottle imp. Okay. If you exit DragonFire Dungeon, you may roll 1 die at the end of the game. So if you roll 1 to 3, you discard one of your loot cards at random, or 4 to 6, you draw an additional treasure card. Well, that's certainly a great way to start. No dangers, no monsters, no combats. All right. Lindell, you will go, let's have you go up here. That's not going to work. So he gets the chasm. And the chasm, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So you do draw a dungeon card, but you can only exit through the same side. Like he's being forced off that way, so he can't, there's nothing he can do. So he does draw a dungeon card, and he's going to have to go back. A lingering shade. So keep this card. It says while you have this card, you must roll 2 dice at the start of your status phase. If I roll a 2 or a 3, I die. If 4 to 12, take the turn as normal. Now I can only discard this card if I enter the catacombs or exit DragonFire Dungeon. So he almost wants to enter the catacombs. But that was that, and his turn is over. Next turn, maybe... Oh, he can't search here. So he's got to go back. He's got to go back, which is fine. All right, let's move up the day tracker. And let's have her move here, because that way she'll have options, right? So she's going to move up. Oh, and it's a straight shot, so that's pretty good. Dungeon card, an unstable potion. You may discard the potion at the start of your status phase. Roll 2 dice. So there's a lot of it's loot, but there's healing to be had here. Okay. Okay. She's doing pretty good. I'm not really flipping the key back and forth very well, am I? Okay, so it's actually Lindell's turn. Lindell, he can't search there, so he has to come back. So he comes back, and I believe that's his turn. Okay. Move up the day tracker. It's too bad we didn't go the other direction on that chasm. Then Lindell would be off to the races. Okay, so moving, she has to move into this direction, and that looks really good. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, dungeon card. It's a dead adventurer. She may loot the body for treasure, and if I do, she can draw a corpse card. Okay. You've probably sat through my other DungeonQuest playthrough, and you realize that on my way to the dragon, I want to get there, and sometimes searches are risky. So you might recall my basic idea, my basic plan here is that I'm not gonna search anything. I shouldn't say that. I'm tempted to search the room, but my turn's over. Okay, Lindell, you've got to move here. This has to be something of use, otherwise your game is over, right? You've got to actually get somewhere. Okay, it's a rotating room. So you guys are familiar with this. Lindell moves into here. The room rotates. So now you can't come back this way. So this is going to be interesting. He's going to have to find another way out. Oh, the only thing we didn't do is we need to do the lingering shade. So we need to do it for the first move, and he lives. And we need to do it for the second move, and he barely lives. He got a 4, and if he gets a 2 or a 3, he dies. So we're fine. Okay, I got to remember that somehow. Maybe we'll just keep it right with him. Okay, back to Chalara. We move the day tracker up, and she's trying to get into the dragon's den. I think it goes without saying, she's coming into this space, which actually turns out to be pretty good. She's got an option here to go into the catacombs, but I don't think she'll take it until it's necessary, because she's not that far away. She does need to draw a dungeon card, and it's an ambush. Okay, so she needs to encounter a monster. Now he, with the Rune of Death, he can get rid of the ambush. She says this: when you draw a dungeon card, that is to say this one, you can discard it and draw another dungeon card as a replacement. So rather than be ambush, I think she's going to do that. So here we go. Hopefully this one is better. It's a crypt. Perfect, because I can explore the crypt for treasure, and if I do so, I draw a crypt card, but I'm not going to. So she has dodged the ambush nicely. I think I've done that right. So it goes back to him. So that'll be turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. We're fine. So back to Lindell. He's got to fend off the lingering shade or die, and he does. And he will move into this space here. Now he can search the rotating room, so if he's in trouble, he could be looking for a possible secret door, but as it stands, he's got to move here. And it's a straight shot, which is okay, but he needs some northern options. Okay, so he needs to draw a dungeon card, which is also a crypt, which I'm going to ignore. Sorry, DungeonQuest fans. Let me get to the dragon before I start branching out with those searches. Done. Day tracker moves up. back to Chalara and Bright Blaze. So she has two options here. Well, she got three options. She could go back, she could enter the catacombs, or she could head off to the east, which is what she's going to do. So we're moving into this space. And, oh, it's a favorable one. There is a portcullis, so going back is tricky, but not too critical. Alright, so she draws a dungeon card. So her torch goes out. So it says, while you have this card, test luck at the start of your status phase. If you succeed, you relight your torch and discard this card and take your turn. If you fail, end your turn. So let me have a look here at her luck. Her luck. Sorry, I'm just going to see which is which here. Luck is the yellow one, which is a 7. So she's got a good chance of that. So instead of redrawing from here, she's going to keep the torch goes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, that was her turn. You know what? I think I'm good with it. I think I'm good with it because I think I can eventually beat that. It'll slow me down for a little while, but it could be better than the next card here. So we're gonna keep the torch out. Okay, Lindell, your turn. Lingering Shade. Roll nice and high. High enough. Moving into this spot here. Because we have to. Good. Good, 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 good. We move through a portcullis. That's 2 in a row. This is a really hard route out. Even if it is a route out. Because we don't know. We need a secret passage. But some options. Finally, some options. And a card. It's empty. So she could have drawn that, but that's okay. Empty. And you will do nothing more. Daytime Tracker moves up. She has to test her luck. So we need a 7 or less. She just needs a 7 or less. And she got an 8. So she failed. So she gets one of those tokens so she can benefit next time. We move that up. Torch goes out. Back to Lindell. Alright, kind of like that. Lindell's going to move, well, let's see if we get a 2 or a 3 here, and he's dead. So he's alive. Let's move Lindell up this way. Okay. Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Really good one. I need to do the standard look. It's an empty room, so nothing happens. And we move on. Daytime Tracker. Testing her luck. Nice and low, nice and low. It's a 9. So she is still stalled. So she gets a second, I think those are called resource markers. And her turn is over. Back to Lindell, which is where the marker is. And not a 2 or a 3. He rolled a 2. So he's dead. Okay. Is there anything I can do? Take your turn as normal. Okay, Lindell's dead. I don't see any way around that. So, okay. We will throw all of our resources behind this young lady now. But some of the passages he's created maybe will come in handy. I don't know. Okay, so we move the tracker up. All our eggs are in one basket now, so I don't want to mess around with the torch too much longer. Let's see what happens here. Low roll, low roll. It's a 9. Not very low. Okay, so she gets another resource marker. Next day. Come on, nice and low. There we go. It's a 5. Okay, so if you succeed at your luck attribute test, which she finally did, you relight your torch. So discard this card and take your turn as normal. Okay, so we discard this card, and she takes her turn. So we've got choices here. I'm going to say let's come across to the east. So let's come into this space. That wasn't what we hoped for. So that goes in here and we search. The room is empty, so that much is good. And her turn is over. Now, question is, there's no doors. Do I search? Do I go back? You know what? Let's search. Let's search. Let's do something a little different. So here's our next turn. We move up the tracker. We're going to go to the search deck and empty. So we find nothing. Okay. So that room has been searched. So we need to mark it accordingly. Move the tracker, and she's going to have to move back to here. Now if we get in trouble, we're going to have to move into the catacombs, but in any case, she moves back to here, needs to draw another card. Empty. Okay, so she's still safe as far as that goes, but now we're going to start to see the time ticking away. Move the tracker, and she's going to move into this space. And it's a trap. Okay. So let's see here. Discard after you draw a search, crypt, or corpse card. Suffer a wound. Okay. Discard the potion. Okay, there's really nothing we can do except encounter the trap. Okay, so trap deck. Sometimes you can survive these. Poisonous snakes. Roll a die and suffer the number of wounds equal to the result. Okay. I can do that. So roll a die and suffer the number of wounds equal to the result. It's a 2. Alright, so 2 wounds. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Especially since I've got my my potion here. I could... You need to roll high. I mean... Maybe we'll just hold on to that until we're really in trouble. Okay, so the tracker moves up. This is turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Turn 13. Let's move this way. Let's move to the north. As usual, we can come back to the south if we need to, or the east. So moving to the north, and we have webs. Now, this is okay. I believe webs is a strength test. Immediately move again, ignoring doors and portcullis. If you exit through any direction other than one you entered, I need to test strength. And if I succeed, enter the chamber normally, and if I fail, end your turn. So it's a strength test. So I could choose to move back here and avoid the strength test, but then I would need to draw another trap card. So let's do the strength test, and she's not a particularly strong person. She only has a 5, but she's got 3 of these resource markers. Crypt corpse or, yeah, okay, so let's try to see if we can roll low. And she does it with a 3. So she succeeds on her strength. I'm going to come out this way. You don't advance the time tracker because in the web, in the case of the spider web, it says immediately move again, ignoring doors and portcullis. So I get to test my strength, succeed, and move into this space here. And okay, that's one I haven't had in a while. That's a cave-in. So here we go with the cave-in. Now, it says draw a dungeon card. So let's do that first. It's a dead adventurer. You may loot the body for treasure, and if you choose to do so, draw a corpse card. So we're just gonna ignore that. We're gonna say no to the dead adventurer. Pretty thematic though, eh? I mean, here we are in a cave-in, and we come across someone's hand sticking out of the rubble, right? And she kind of pulls stuff aside, but it's clear that the corpse was a corpse. It's clear that the person was killed by the cave-in, and so we adventure on. Now it says on my next turn, did I advance that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I did. This was still part of the webs. So the cave-in says on your next turn, if you choose to exit through the other side, I have to test agility. And if I succeed, I exit normally, and if I fail, I end my turn. So my agility is a 7. It's actually decent. So here's my next turn. I am going to attempt to crawl through this debris and into this space. So I need to test my agility. So I need another very low roll. 10. That is not good, although I could spend all 3, which I think I will, to bring that down to 7. So 10, 9, 8, 7. Either that or I burn a day, and I don't want to burn a day. So we are going to move into this space by spending my resource token. Hopefully we get a favorable card. And as you can see, I think we have encountered another cave-in. It's actually kind of stuck here. Alright, so we draw a card, a razor wing attack. So I roll a die and suffer a number of wounds equal to the result. Well, you know that her ability allows her to discard this and draw another, and that's what she's going to do. So she's going to discard this dungeon card and take the next one. It's a passage down. How fascinating. Okay, this might work well for an escape. So the catacombs, or excuse me, she's not in the catacombs. She's in the cave-in, but she has found that she can go around it. How very interesting. Okay. But we haven't completely dealt with the cave-in yet. Oh, no, next turn. There's nothing else she can do here. She could search. No, she can't. She can't search. It's just a dungeon card. Okay, so next turn. So here we will test agility again. And we need a 7 or less. And we got a 3. Okay, awesome. So she's clearly moving into this space. It'll be hard to come back in this direction, but maybe we will. Oh, that's really good. It's a corridor which allows me a free move. So, like I could draw a free tile. So this is interesting because I could potentially not come into the DragonFire yet. But you know what? If I choose to come out this way, I wonder if there's anything that would bring me back to here. Wouldn't that be interesting? Or if something goes wrong, I'd have this option. I could come back through here and then out this way and head toward this entrance. Okay, so we're in a good space. In any case, I'm in the dragon's chamber now. So I get to draw from the dragon deck. And if she is asleep, I get loot. Aha! Sleeping. So, I draw 2 treasure cards. I want these to be good ones. That's about as bad as it gets. It's a pearl ring for 130 gold. and a Crystal of Taval for 240 gold. So those aren't anything to write home about. Okay, so the tracker moves up a day, and I'm going to press my luck. Still sleeping. Draw a couple more treasures. An obsidian ring for 110 gold. And a jeweled chakra for 350 gold. Okay, let me think about this. I'm going to press my luck again. Still sleeping. Alright, I don't think I'm going to want to do more than this, so hopefully we hit one of the big ones. A Crystal of Oris for 320. Come on. And a lodestone for 1 gold. I don't even know what that means. Okay, 1 gold? Really? I guess what happens is if you have to discard loot, then that's not a big deal. Alright, what am I up to here? 300, 600, 700, 800, 1040, 1050, 1150. Okay, that's not really great, but I'm going to take it. Let's move the tracker on, and I'm going to come through here. And I'm going to go... I could enter the catacombs. Let's not do that till I have to. I'm going to come into this space. So I'm on my way out. I'm on my way out. And it's a rotating room. So she enters into the room and it rotates, which of course is now going to kind of cut me off from that catacombs escape. But that's okay. Alright, so that room is searchable, but you don't draw a dungeon card. Alright, so let's move the tracker up. I'm not searching, I'm trying to get out of here. And now we do move through a portcullis, so there's not as much going back now. Draw a card. Curse of the Wizard. Roll a die and rotate all corridors in the following directions. All corridors. Well, I only have 1 corridor, and it's not going to matter at all. There's no other corridors. So, okay, I roll a die, and it's a 2, so I rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Alright, I'll keep that. No problem. That was a good card to get. Tracker moves up. I got to get out of here. So we're going to move into this space, and you can see that our options here are limited. It needs to specifically come down, and it does. Okay, so I move into this space, draw a dungeon card, and I have ceiling collapse. So the ceiling gives way. Some paths are blocked while other new paths are revealed. Rotate the chamber you are in 90 degrees clockwise. Well, that's kind of lucky again, because it's a 4-way exit from this room. So I will accept that card and move on from the ceiling collapse. Okay, I think I'm trying to get out. It depends what I get, because I could circle back this way and try to come through the portcullis and out, and I've got a straight shot, or I think my first order of business is try to come this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do it. Or if I searched and I came through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same, well, obviously. I could burn a turn by searching, but then I still have to get through the portcullis. I better come down here. Alright, so here's my move. She's coming down south, and this isn't a bad thing. It's webs, so it depends. I don't have anything to help me with this. This is a free move if I can succeed at this roll. I need to get a 5 or a less on my strength. Come on. Oh, yes. Okay. Snake eyes. Okay. Let me... Boy, I got a few options here, don't I? If I come here, then I keep options open, because I have to come over anyway. So my options are here, here. It doesn't do me much good to go there. This is a free move, by the way. This is a free tile, so this is saving me time. My day tracker does not advance. I'm going to come here. Okay, that wasn't the best. But I committed to it, so there I am. Alright, let's draw. It's a dead adventurer. I may loot the body for treasure, so I can draw a corpse card. Well, I haven't done this before, and I said I would, so I'll check the corpse deck. And it's a small scorpion. Roll 1 die and subtract 2 from the result and suffer that many wounds. Okay, I'm willing. I'm willing to take it. Although, you know what? I don't have to. I can use my rune of blinding. Now I better just do it in case I end up with something else that's really bad. So I'm going to take 2 wounds. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Alright. That's what you get for searching corpses. So I'm going to have... let me see, 4. So I'm going to have 2 more wounds. 1, 2, 3... 3, 4. Okay. Alright, I'm going to move into... time tracker moves up. I move into this space. Now, this is going the wrong direction, so hopefully this will work. I need to draw a dungeon card. I encounter a monster. It's an ambush. So I'm going to use her skill to draw another dungeon card. And the room is empty, so nothing happens. Perfect. Okay, so time tracker moves up, and she moves to here. Yeah, I'm definitely running out of time here. I don't even think I have enough. Alright, well I gotta draw a card. Passage down. I don't know how that's to my advantage, except that I don't have to test my strength against the portcullis. So I'm going to accept that passage down. Time tracker moves on, and I'm going to enter the catacombs, and hopefully that gets me out soon. So we're going to enter the catacombs. Time tracker moves on. This might be the wrong thing to do. A horde of rats. You're overwhelmed by a horde of venomous rats. Test your armor, and if you fail, suffer 4 wounds. Okay, my armor is 5, and I got a 6. So I suffer an additional 4 wounds. I have 8, so I've got 4. I can take 4 more wounds. Crypt. Okay, so that goes here. Well, not exactly. I'm going to need to keep those to know how far I've gone. Okay, day tracker moves up. Another card. Empty. Okay, I didn't know there was such a thing. Day tracker moves up. Draw a card. Hole in the roof. Test agility. If you succeed, you may exit the catacombs. If you fail, end your turn. Okay. My agility is a 7, and I would love to get out the hole in the roof. It's great timing. I got a 7, so I'm out the hole in the roof. Now what that means is I move, I've got 3 catacomb cards, so here's my direction I was heading. So I move 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and this is a different sort of a exit. It says if you succeed, you may exit the catacombs. So my assumption here is that, or maybe I do, because normally you turn this in a direction. Yeah, normally you turn that in a direction and then roll a die. And this could get me out. As opposed to I automatically just pick a card. Let me just check exiting the catacombs, alright? See what it says. Okay, so just what happened there was my battery ran out. So luckily, when I checked my iPad, it was like it had just run out. So here's what happened. I came through the catacombs and I got to this point and I determined that exiting was going to be a normal exit. In other words, I don't place a dungeon tile here, but rather, or instead, I turn my catacombs marker 90 degrees in the direction I want, and then I roll a die and I proceed in this direction. Well, I rolled a 6. A 6 was the only thing I could have rolled that would have meant my death, because otherwise I survived. What this resulted in was me moving 6 squares, 1, 2, which is at the exit, and then what I have to do is I'm done. I'm free and done, except that I need to take the number of wounds that is the difference between here and the wall, essentially. So that's 4. So I came over here. Where are we? Okay, I came over to my character, and I had 8 wounds. So I needed to take 4 wounds because I ran into the dungeon wall, or the castle wall. So that gave me exactly 12, and as you can see, my health is 12. So if I had rolled anything but that 6, I would have survived. But even a 5, and I would have come out. I had this bottled imp, which was really awesome, which would have allowed me to exchange one of my loot cards, which would have been the lodestone. And the next treasure card, rather, in its place was this, a giant ruby. So I'm just going over my frustration here with this. It's not really frustration. It was fun, but I lost. I lost on the last conceivable move, and it kind of sucks. I was pressed for time. You can see how much time, but I would have got out with 2 hours to spare, so to speak. But I didn't do it. So that's it. It's about as close as I've ever come. With some awesome stuff, but I've looked at my cards. There's no way I could have avoided this or anything I can do to make up for it, and so that's that. This is Wilson saying thanks for checking out my game of Dungeon Quest, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.